So it might be that time of the year again where I might need to break out an index card to make a laundry list of things I haven't got around to doing yet. Like that Chongyun hangout event, for example. The Diona hangout event. I did say I'd get around to doing those. We're not doing those today. As much as I know everyone's clamoring for me to do those. There are just so many hangout events that I can't honestly be bothered to do all of them. If I'm desperate for content in this game, which has actually honestly never been the case for me in Genshin, there's so much content, so little of my time to do it, especially since I want to play other games. For people that only play this game, yeah, if I played only this game, I probably would have dried up all the content by now. I could totally see that happening. But personally, the content mill hasn't dried up yet. I have to figure out what's going on with the Saurian quest in Natland. That's a big priority. That's going to be what we're going to first try to do. Now, I remember we ran into an NPC who then popped up in another location, but I had the immersive mode for the Archon quest enabled, so it wouldn't let me interact with him, or it stopped him from interacting with me. So we're going to try to pick that up for where I left off. Oh, hi, Paimon. It's been a few days since the battle. Hopefully the tribes are getting back to normal. Something going on at the Feyun Commerce Guild. Oh no, that Paimon message is just glued to the bottom of the screen. We are trapped here in limbo until Paimon is able to speak again. The Flower Feather clan was hit the hardest, right? It's Chaska's tribe. We might be able to help them out. Okay. That's the main Archon quest. I ain't messing with that. I did not know that Ororon was going to be a 4-star. That surprised me. And I am curious, though. What is my standard banner history? This is mostly just a filler stream. I don't plan on doing any of the Archon quests or... what are they called? Interlude. Interlude was the word I was looking for. Ooh, we got Charlotte. $25, $30, $35, $40, $45, $50, $55, $56, $57, $58. I don't know. For the lulz? Hiya? No gold. Or is that pink? I can't tell. Did they change the color on that? Holy shit! Ma, get your camera! This has never happened before. The rarest 4-star pull ever! And another fucking Harbinger of Dawn. Oh, I'm so excited. And we got a flute, too. Nice. I keep forgetting to level up this bow. It's not just any doll. Decrease explosive puppets cooldown by 20% add 1 additional charge. I know what we're doing today. That clinches it. We're getting the girl back. Sorry, Dea.
Leave it to me. I will protect you.
Alright, this is my burning team. Alright, let's test this out. Oh yeah! We dancing! We dancing. That's awesome. What's the cooldown now? Amber battery online. 12 seconds? What's the baseline for this? 15. That's 3 seconds less. We get 2 of them. Go, Baron Bunny. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, did this thing update? I forgot to check this at the end of Shalonen's story. You recovered the true soul alongside Baraka. And you wish that soul's happiness from here on out. Alright. Well, that's my main side objective. We want to fill out this entire thingy. And we have the new Tribal Chronicles, which I will start eventually. For the same land. So we'll probably do all fires fuel the flame at a later point. I want to do 2 things. I want to see what this world quest is. Because that was like the first one that we stumbled across. I want to find out what this world quest is all about. But, I already said it at the beginning, during the intro, we are going here first. Because there's an NPC we ran into that I want to see what their deal is. They were right here. Okay, so we've already met our first dead end. I thought we could pick up our Saurian side quest here. Don't know where we go from here. So if someone wants to let me know in the chat later, that would be very helpful. But since no one did, we'll move on to... What is this? The new boss? Okay. Let's go to the People of the Springs and see what this world quest over here is all about. No one can escape from Outrider Amber. A lot of information was contained within this simple notes, but most of it has been scratched out. Grinded the Embercore flowers, didn't work. Collect the molted shells, immerse yourself. Saw Shabalanque mentioned in there somewhere. The most ancient trial, or so the legends hold. This is how Jabalanque, the first and greatest, learned the art of controlling flames. Sage of the Stolen Flame. Interesting. I think we found our way in. We did. We found our way in. I was always cut out to be an adventurer in the Adventurers Guild. Ad Astra Abyssosque. That big lunk isn't going to start getting up, is it? There'll be trouble if it does, but there's only one way through. Do I have to take a path from the top to get around it? How long will it take? Why don't you just go right over? Well, aren't you bold, lad? Listen good, alright? Your youth means that you've still got chances to make mistakes aplenty. But, wait, where'd you come from? Oh. Oh, Dan, what did you do to her? That wasn't some sort of invisible attack, was it? Oh, Rollins is here! Oh, so maybe this is where we're supposed to go. I didn't do anything. This power doth the Adepti of Leeway name Gusto. Really? Gusto? What in tarnation is that? You're a braggart and a half, aren't you, lad? That was my back acting up. I've been stooping for a good long while, inching my way towards that big lunk. Then I stood up too fast. Surefire way to bring the pain. That's what that is. Used to be that I'd only flare up when I turned my back at a specific angle. But these days, one careless move leaves me in a world of hurt for a good long while. And just so you know, it's pain o'clock now. Ugh, so, hiss. Don't make me start conversations from behind people of habit, alright? What about you two? I mean, your names. Paimon's Paimon. And this little Teleplosaur here is Rollins. I see, I see. In that case, I guess I'll call myself... Call yourself? What, you're gonna give us a fake name? Well, a person's gotta be on their guard while on a walkabout, don't they? Ah, here I was gonna give you my love rival's name. A youngin' she is, and energetic too. And worst of all, she's got a healthy back. Love rival, so someone you're competing with? But forget it. That would be unfriendly competition. You take my meaning, so have my real name instead. Chikya. Rar. Hey, aren't you a cute little fella? You're calling my name, I know it. Anyway, you can call me Big Sis Chikya. Not Auntie Chikya, though. That one I forbid. Alright, Big Sis Chikya. Well, I could just call you Aunt only. Wow, where did the Traveler get all this sass from? Alright, Big Sis. Good, that's good. You got a fine future ahead of you, lad. Anyway, what are you doing here, Big Sis Chikya? And isn't that, the million more question? What would a person be doing here amidst naught but ruins? What would your answer be, Dan, my lad? To rob others, or be robbed. Waiting for someone to strike up a conversation with them. Well, now. Were you my type, I'd call that a good answer. Too bad for you. Big Sis here prefers the strapping sort. Either way, minus 10 points for getting it wrong. What I'm doing here is treasure hunting. Wow, treasure. There you go, Paimon. Spared you the effort. Seriously? What are you, some serial line thief? And Paimon's gonna say it anyway. Wow, treasure! Rawr, rawr. You sure do get along. Who knows, if I hadn't spent so much time tidying woven scrolls that my back gave out, I might have made some good friends myself. I mean, there's still time. Either way, I'm on a hunt for an elixir that can cure all injuries. Good luck with that. I'm gonna go the other way now. I discovered in a secret scroll. You want in? As everyone knows, if we Masters of the Night Wind have anything aplenty, it's woven artifacts recording stories of our past. We can split the elixir should we find it. But the true issue here is my back pain. Walking from hot springs down at the people thereof was exhausting enough, so I need to be able to help for the next leg of my search. Therapeutic springs my foot didn't work worth the diddly squat. I might look like this now, but I too was once pretty lass who would ride leaping in ichthyosaurs on the regular. Ichthyosaurs. Is that the weird bat thingies that the people of the Nightwind run on? Speaking of age, you don't look all that old to me. I look older than you, personally, and I'm only in my 30s. That being said, my back is killing me, and I don't want to bring it up again. Hopefully. Rawr. See you're interested in that elixir, Rollins? That curiosity will be the root of future success, you know. Rawr. An elixir that can cure all injuries. That sounds amazing. Let's go check it out then. Those unmoved by treasure can barely be called human. Why, even the coldest-blooded saurians get fired up when they hear the word. Rawr. Exactly. Right then, in that case, our first objective will be get past this big lunk. After you, esteemed Dan. Whatever you say, Chikya. It's moving after all. Gah, I had bad feelings always turn out true. Rawr. Don't worry, leave this to Dan. Alright, I'm on it. Defeat the opponent. Okay, I actually do have to fight. Alright. Say holy. Haha. Double trouble, bitch. Whoa. Whoa.
Not so
Ow.
hard.
I guess we're just gonna follow the spirit way the entire way to the destination of wherever this place leads. Huh, I didn't think you'd be able to fend them off with those thin limbs of yours. Don't underestimate Dan, he's taken way bigger things out than that. Rawr. Huh, looks like roping you in was the right choice. Guess I got a good eye, eh? And here I thought you were going to compliment me. I'll bet you received lots of that. What with your strength and all. Let poor Chica here get her share too, would you? Look at the pictures on these walls. They've come to the right place. Yeah, there's some pink symbols written on these pillars. Now, according to the ancient scrolls, we need to continue onward. Let's get moving. Not too fast, though. Gotta save some air for the wounded. And by wounded, I mean me. Man, Chica acts more like an old hag than I do. Trace or no tracing. Tale of Dreams Plucked from Fire. So this is the new world quest. I say new, but it was like added in like 5.0 that I never got to. Ooh, lava traversal. I know exactly how to get by that.
Leave it all to me.
Oh wow. It does not care about shields. At all. It's getting hotter as we go. Is the elixir really inside? Well, if you want to be precise, the elixir isn't within, but the method of which the treasure may be added. You know when we get there. First, we need to find the door. Okay, whatever you say, Chica. This place seems dangerous as hell. Literally. Ah, there we go. That's the door. Is that the one you're talking about? Alright.
I can patch myself up.
Ow. Note to self, do not swim in lava. Noelle has so much defense, though, she can take it. But the door looks closed. Alright. Well, it better be. I mean, an open door would mean that our path to the great treasure is long gone. You do have a point there, Chica. To think that it was exactly those woven scrolls and text concerning this stated, what do you think? See that phlogiston engraving there, right by the door? Ah! That's right, you're a quick one, little fella. Sharp-eyed, too. Researchers have said that Saurian visual acuity differs by species. Saurians are generally further sighted than humans are, and from this distance, anyone from the tribe who isn't visually impaired old lady could spot this phlogiston engraving. So this shining thing that you call a phlogiston engraving, Chikia. Sorry, a what engraving now? Oh, phlogiston engraving, that's right, totally. Your acting could use some work, although I'm sure what sort of training could help you. I'm not sure what kind of sort of training could help you. Anyway, speaking of phlogiston. The origin of phlogiston engraving, narrowly speaking, comes from the days when Natlan was still ruled by the Pyro Dragon, who caused humanity to exist only in primitive tribes. In those days, only dragons could use phlogiston, but the Sage of Stolen Flame, Wakalahun Uba Khan, risked life and limb to steal the flaming seed from the great volcano. As such, humans began imitating the way dragons controlled the substance, creating a language by which humanity could exert the same control. This is the basis of modern Natlan's phlogiston usage. This is why I love doing the world quests. They're so rich in lore. And, Hoyo, I know you're not watching this and I know you're not listening, but call me up. I would be happy to voice a world quest character. I don't want to be a playable character. I want to be a world quest character. Someone that people grows an unnatural attachment to because of the long, tragic, arduous journey that we went on together, only for them to either die or get off-screened. But that doesn't happen to all of them. Jet's doing fine. I would like to see what Rana's up to. We got to see Sarush come back in the Nahida fucking birthday event. That was a shocking surprise, and Sarush was even voiced in that. I didn't even see that happening. Call me up. The results of that are phlogiston engravings, like the one you see before you right now. Magnificent, isn't it? It's still intact, even if after all these years, still visible to the naked eye. Oh! Ah! Alright, your turn, Dan. Yeah, woo. Very impressive, Chikia. I know, right? And that's why I took up the phlogiston usage tutor job, desired by few in the tribe. The compliments are just as sublime. Also, teaching children, soon to start using phlogiston about the substance history, is a very important job. So the phlogiston engraving is here. As I said before, phlogiston engraving is also a language. It looks like the mere patterns, but those well versed in the art can understand the meaning therein. And as a scholar of the subject, I should only need a day to analyze these patterns. A full day? There's like one pattern here. Alright. Wait, you're gonna take a whole day? Thank you, Paimon. I know that me and you are on the same wavelength. Yeah, what about it? Now, the pattern looks flat, sure, but every last hook and turn, can redefine the meaning behind the phlogiston flow within. Wow, that's super complicated. How complicated could it be? Yep, phlogiston engraving scholarship is the most masterful field of study. So what if you read the meaning directly using phlogiston? Directly? Well, you could certainly do that. But the meaning could, and I do mean could, contain some discrepancy. Wait, you can use phlogiston? But you're an Outlander, aren't you? Well, I could do it the moment I arrived in Outland. Really? I never knew that could happen. How could that? I mean, what a rarity. Quite expected of you, of course, I suppose. Anyway, this is a good opportunity to try to sense the phlogiston for yourself. Your hand stops a short distance from the phlogiston engraving. You feel the warmth in your body slowly follow the patterns along the wall. Then the meaning lights up in your mind as a dim star. If you wish to open this door, seek out the unveiling script. So what's recorded on that engraving? It reads as follows. That is indeed what it says. Answers of this sort are pretty easy to verify. In any case, that's a pretty classic theme. There should be an unveiling script somewhere around here with which we can unlock this phlogiston engraving. But where is it, though? That's right, Rollins. Yes, a script with which to unveil this engraving. Wait, you understood me, little guy? He turned around. Is he trying to say that the script is behind us? Way to go, Rollins. Was that it? Wow, the door really opened. Well, half opened anyway. Haha, got over. Everything about you exudes vigor, young lad. Almost makes me wish I could start over at your age. Wait, how do you even do something like that anyway? Ah, there we go. Spirit door and spirit way, shimmering on the edge of reality. Man, you're talking way faster than I can read. Ah! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Paimon was just about to say that this place is getting hotter and deeper. But she sure didn't expect this whole place to be filled with lava. Careful, Rollins, if you slip, that might just be the end of you. You say that, but I've slipped and fallen into the lava twice already and haven't died as a result. Granted, it was as Noel, And Noelle is tanky. Oh, but now that you mention it, little floaty Paimon's the safest here. That's just one of the reasons Paimon's awesome, you know. They say that those whose heads get too big wind up floating away. Paimon's always floating anyway, but that didn't sound like a compliment. Huh? You're a really bright spark, Paimon, you know that? That didn't sound like a compliment either. JK, anyway, never mind that at all. This is the thing we're looking for, right? Looks like a clay ring with phlogiston pattern on it. Do you think this one's valuable by any chance? Very much so. In fact, it's probably worth a large sum of mora. But its real worth lies in its ability to open the path to the upper sanctum. Hanan Pecha. You've seen the islands floating in the sky, haven't you? You mean the ones above the lake? That's right, we call it the upper sanctum, or the Hanan Pecha, due to their inaccessibility by either humans or Saurians. They say that the legendary elixir that heals all wounds can be found there, in fact. For people like us who are constantly in conflict, it's a pure land of peace, utopia created by the very first human to use phlogiston. That was Xbalanque, right? And now it's time for a question, class. What was the name of the sage who, in the past, stole the flaming seed of phlogiston? Rollins? Very enthusiastic, but I don't think I heard you right. Alright, now your turn. Laksa Kalahun Ubalakan? Very good. You memorized it after hearing it only once. Wait, did my phone... Oh, my phone heard me, and my phone is trying to call someone now. That's funny. You can't hear it, but my phone just said, I can't find that name in your contacts. Great, I see things in your future, I do. Anyway, we usually call him the Sage of the Stolen Flame, which is easier by far. Some also call him a madman, or a lunatic. But I'd call those compliments as well. He did do some very impressive things regardless, after all. He stole the flaming phlogiston seed from the giant dragon and created the upper sanctum using that power, before teaching it to everyone in the tribes. This is also, or so the ancient scrolls say, where humans first began practicing with phlogiston. And this special spirit door is a sort of trial. Activating this door will grant you access to the spirit way that leads to the upper sanctum. Well, I don't know what you're saying. Yes, that's where the treasure is. Legend has it. It is a gift given by the sage to those who pass the trial. Arr! Huh, so that's the story? So what's the trial like then? Let me have a look. Nah, it's fine. I've seen the phlogiston engraving on this spirit door enough times to sear it into my memory. If you wish to open this path, seek 3 unveiling scripts. That's right. Pretty much the same as before, we just need to find 3 scripts this time. I mean, drawing info directly from the phlogiston is impressive, but I'd personally put more stock in my graphic language comparisons. Seems like this spirit door already has an unveiling script embedded into it, see? A third of it has already been lit up. Oh, that's because we hit one on the way down. So we just need to find 2 more. My back's aching again. I'll wait for you here while you find those unveiling scripts, alright? This place is very dangerous, so keep your eyes peeled, lad. Unveiling script, where are you? Come on, Rollins, you help out too. Just let Paimon and Dan know if you see any glowy patterns, okay? Arr! Woo! That's so fun. Oh, now we found both the unveiling scripts. Head back. There we go. That's pretty easy. And it unlocks the spirit way up to the Flying Islands. So this is how the spirit way looks when illuminated. The ancient woven scrolls said that when the dim path lights up, it'll be like a bonfire being roused once more into a blaze. They weren't exaggerating. Alright, you're back at last. You alright over there, Paimon? Yeah, Paimon's fine. And you, Rollins? Ah! Well, still not getting you there, but seems like you're uninjured too. Finally, Dan. I knew you'd be fine. Lad, you got a bright future ahead of you after all. Some concern would have been nice all the same. That would be unnecessary. The only thing you need is the trust of others, and you should be proud of that. Seriously though, this place is frighteningly full of liquid phlogiston. I was concerned for a moment that you would not come back. Couldn't have returned on my power with this bad back, after all. You'd have failed to return had I turned into jerky here. What? Without ever having found that cure-all elixir. Ah. What's wrong, Chikia? What's with the sudden look? I just remembered that when tidying up ancient scrolls previously, I did spot an account of our ancestors swimming in lava. At that time, I thought swimming in liquid phlogiston? Madness. I reckoned it was some wild storyteller's yarn, I did. Well, now that you think about it, those were probably those who failed. There's a warning of those attempting the trial. It's hard to imagine why anyone would draw that, but, yeah. Just thinking about it gives me the heebie-jeebies. No wonder my friend gave me a pained look, like one looking at someone emotionally warped into a humanoid monster, when I told that story as a joke. We drifted apart thereafter. Ugh. That was one of my only friends, you know? Anyway, never mind. Let's head back to the tribe and talk there instead. This whole friends business should start looking up once the Sage of Stolen Flame's gift returns with us in glory. That's an awful definition of friendship. Well, broaden your definitions and lower your standards enough, and you too will find your friends as numerous as the aphids in the fields. Anyway, for the sake of friendship, actually screw that, we're doing this for the gift, for ourselves, and for selfish reasons. Anyway, because we deserve it and all the more, let's rock. Still, this is the first time I'm riding a Spirit Way. You'll dodge if I end up vomiting, won't you? Alright, don't worry, y'all. I was just kidding. Were you, though? Ride the Spirit Way. Hello, Mr. Penguin Bird.
Ah, something with which to commemorate this occasion.
Okay, let's get over there. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wow. Just being above it hurts? This lava is no joke. There we go. So this is the Spirit Way. That was quick. I wasn't expecting this experience. It took all this time to get to our destination, and whoop, it took us all the way back in an instant instead. If you ask me, the Pyro Archon should be placing this stuff everywhere. Have you ever entered a Spirit Way before? Well, I've always lived within my tribe's bounds, and we have phlogiston-saturated winds nearby that can blow us high. I still feel like these Spirit Ways are slightly more fun. Ride the Spirit Way back to the surface. As expected, the spirit door below is connected to the one in these ruins, such that the passage may extend into the skies. The woven scrolls record rightly. I'm so proud of myself for believing in them. Arr! Yes, and you're awesome for cooperating with me, Rollins. What an adorable little fellow you are. How would you like to jump ship over to me, 3 square meals and 1 grain fruit guaranteed. 1 for each meal is kind of sad. Let's be real. Now don't you go looking down on the grain fruit. It's a real hit amongst the Saurians, and it's healthy for them too. I'll take that as a no then. Ah, to be so close. I'm getting a little envious. When we were around when Rollins first opened his eyes, you didn't have a chance to start with. That's so? That close, huh? That might make for a very painful goodbye if that time should come, though. Ooh, don't bring that up. Here? Alright, we're about to reach the upper sanctum, but let me take 5 real quick goodness... let me take 5 real quick goodness my back hurts. Has it always been that way? Oh, come on, it's not that bad. You know, you leave your open to your tricks by constantly taking people so seriously. If anything, my back pain's decreased mysteriously since meeting you. I wonder what that is. If there's something special about your body, that would work with a piece of it at any size, like, say, a thumb. You wouldn't mind giving me one, right? I'll give you mine in exchange. Want to give it a shot? Alright. I'll trade thumbs. I don't really use my thumb for all that much. I only use it for gripping things. And I kind of leave my thumb outward when I grip stuff. I mainly use these fingers. When I grip something really hard, I do use my thumb because I grip like this with 3 fingers. Like a pincher. Wait, what sort of trade is that? Okay, so I don't know how you grew up, lad, but I'm sure most people would have refused. I was just trying to scare you, you know. You didn't think you'd get me instead. Alright. Just a bit longer and the pain in my back should subside, and then we can head to the upper sanctum together. Maybe I should play a clip of Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 2. My back! My back!
My back! Oh, my back!
Seeker no finding. Up we go! Pretty happy with how things have gone, actually. Make that delighted. Originally, I thought I'd make it to the entrance for a quick look around. It's all thanks to you, lad. To think that such a waste it would have been if I had gone on my own. Now, what do you mean, sneaking out? Okay, here's the thing. I left without telling my friends and family in the tribe. Oh, you didn't tell it? Didn't I tell you before? Wait a sec. Isn't that running away from home? How old are you again? I did say that I look older than her. So this is the upper sanctum, huh? From down below, you'd think that it was all gray and empty up here. Alright. Who'd have thought that it'd be like this? Indeed, it is said that the floating matter here is held together through the power of phlogiston, a highly vigorous energy source. It's a strange phenomenon, but that's the best way to understand it for now. Meanwhile, they're manipulating gravity in Fontaine through the power of, I don't know, annihilation reactions? This also explains not only why the grass and flowers grow above it, but also how it warms the coolest earth anew and ignites the conflagration of souls in the darkness. This is the phlogiston, won for us by the Sage of Stolen Flame, snatched from the very claws of the giant dragon. Huh. Speaking of which, that reminds me, when some people in the tribe lay eyes upon the upper sanctum, they have the nerve to doubt that a mere human could create such a floating island, through the power of phlogiston, thus concluding that the Sage of Stolen Flame must have been a kind of dragon too. Huh? They actually believe that? Just because they couldn't do it themselves, they insist that anyone who could must have been superhuman. I'd rather not hang around with people who have such losing mentality. Huh. Anyway, about the treasure and the elixir. Given that's what we came for, doesn't look like there's much for us here. Alright. You didn't actually think that it was going to be that simple, did you? We're being put to the test by the mad Sage of Stolen Flame, after all. The ancient scrolls are right. We must find some mechanism to activate the complete final trial. I think there's an "and" missing in that sentence. And then reach the center of the upper sanctum. but I have no more idea than you as to what this so-called center is supposed to look like. Thinking back, I'm sure the images of floating islands I've seen before were a bit different from what we're seeing now. But it's possible that as I've aged, even my memory, which I was once so proud of, is becoming unreliable. Anyway, seeing as we've come this far, let's rely on our intuition instead. So how are we going to activate these mechanisms? You should be able to activate them using phlogiston, just like the phlogiston engraving. That's what's shown in the scrolls anyhow. Apparently the phlogiston chiseliths all over the Natlan were based on a mechanism here, making these mechanisms incredible relics in and of themselves. Well, lad, you've shown great promise thus far. Time you went and gave it a try, huh? I love the young people. Oh! I didn't mean to kill the bird! Timmy, look away! Spray feather gill. That's definitely someone's ascension material. That's odd. What are these iridescent inscriptions doing here? Theory, these things constitute even more something than the grave. God, I looked away for 1 second. It disappeared after Dan touched it. Those that would receive the flame go to the monument where the seed is what? Head to the last floating island. How am I supposed to get there? Well, I mean, we can get to this island.
An impressive bounty.
Oh, that's how we get there. The rings. What are these iridescent inscriptions doing here? On again. Those that would receive the flame complete the trial and head to the floating island. Yeah. Ooh, that looks promising. Phew, this should be the last mechanism. This one's no different from the others, Chikya. You sure you haven't fallen for some kind of trick? Arr! Of course not. When it comes to deciphering ancient scrolls, I have great confidence. Some confidence. Well, a certain degree of confidence in my abilities. Your confidence is shrinking by the second. Ah, help! Anyway, I'm fairly sure this isn't the last mechanism. If I remember rightly, it should be larger and more complete. Floating islands. Young lad, irrespective of the great promise you've shown, no one will understand you unless you speak in full sentences. I love the sass here. It's so funny and so passive-aggressive. As for whether the treasure is real and if the elixir really exists, well, you only know once you give it a try. Arr! If that doesn't work this time, it'll work the next. And if not here, then somewhere else. As long as you stay in the game, a miracle's bound to happen sooner or later. Your optimism truly knows no bounds. I'll take that as a compliment. Arr! See, Rollins is excited too. Come on, Dan, use phlogiston to activate the mechanism. Commence trial. The iridescent inscription turned into a ball. It's trying to tell us to follow the thing or writing it. Looks like this is the final trial. Go, go, go. Oh, my injuries. Rawr. But how do I get up there? Oh. Thank you, convenience. This is a really thin spirit way. Could this spirit way be the final trial? It's a loop. Huh, look, a new spirit way. Oh, they dead end. So this is kind of a skill gap. Alright. I'm sure I'm missing text while focusing on the spirit way ahead of me. Careful. Ow. Oh, yeah, I forgot you have to jump over those. Alright. That floating orb is definitely watching us. I was very considerate of the Sage's stolen flame, huh? Oh, I don't have time to read it. I gotta actually focus. This has got to be the end, right? Nope, it keeps going. The iridescent inscription, it's gone again. It's on. So was the whole point of the trial to get us to touch these iridescent inscriptions? But why? Could it be these iridescent inscriptions or some kind of mechanism? That was my take. Where is it taking us on that note? Can you give me control of the camera again? In case I need to jump? Hidden ahead. Huh. Seeing things? So she's like, she's a whole new floating thing. Your eyes do not deceive you, Paimon. That's the center of the upper sanctum. Huh. Does it mean that the whole point where those iridescent inscriptions was to make the island appear? Those balls are going to start attacking us. Well, I never. A hidden island in the center of the upper sanctum. Huh. There I was, wondering why it looked so different from what I saw in the pictures. Oh, I needed that. So my memory's fine after all. I wouldn't be in charge of looking after all those ancient woven scrolls if I wasn't, But apart from that, even larger rock in the middle, there's nothing else here. Or could this giant rock itself be the sage's legendary gift? At this point, I'm genuinely stumped. In all the scrolls I've seen, when the heroes pass the trial and reach this place, they should sense the spirit of the sage of stolen flame. As long as you reach this place by passing the trial, you're supposed to feel as if you're being called somehow. I have no idea what that means in practice. I was under the impression that I'd be able to work that out once I got here. That I could... looks like that was wishful thinking. Stretch out your hand, chosen... reach out to me. This is the final trial with this light. The temple is something... Rar? Then you know what that means? Rar. You saw something? You saw something? Gracious me. So the one worthy of the gift was you after all, young lad. Paimon didn't see anything either. Weird. I saw a golden pattern. Alright. Golden pattern, you mean the same one you saw the first time you met Rollins? Wait, Paimon thought you were just seeing things back then. Alright. Rollins is telling you to look up. It's no use. She can't see it. But seeing as you've said it's there, the tone sounds familiar too. It's definitely the same person that left the golden pattern before. So maybe the one that left it behind was the Sage of Stolen Flame. What? You mean to say that you've previously been given a sign by the Sage of Stolen Flame? I said you had a bright future ahead of you, lad, and what lies before you now is but a future so radiant. I knew you showed great promise. I wouldn't have taken the shine to you otherwise. So have you figured out how to receive the gift? I have to reach out towards the giant stone tablet. There we go. Oh, watch out. I'm guessing it means the final trial is indeed a battle. Watch out for those fists.
Propagate!
I'll race you there.
Alright, it's Noel time. Spin to win, baby. Come on, hurt me. Hurt me. Hurt me more. You know, I missed the Fontaine battle theme, but this one has really quickly grown on me. It's saucy.
Leave it all to me. As a good knight should.
I knew those balls would get up and attack me. Sentences I know you've never thought you'd say in your life. Oh, look, all the birds are here. The water level has risen somewhat. The spring's now full of phlogiston. The water below my knees is warm, and I can feel a warmth flowing through my limbs. A lovely sensation. So the sage's gift wasn't an elixir that can cure all injuries, but rather the hot spring here? Paimon's not exactly surprised, given the people of the springs aren't far off. Arr! Rollins is looking pretty cozy there. This isn't just any old hot spring, little floaty Paimon. Once a hero who has been chosen bathes in this spring, they'll be granted the power to wield phlogiston. Huh? Really? What'll happen if Paimon dives in? Good question. Yeah, I think I know. You'd still be Paimon, just a soaking wet one. What? Paimon thought she might get to use phlogiston too and transform into some kind of super awesome Pyro Paimon. Write that down, write that down. Sadly, I think not, because you haven't been chosen. Wait a minute, Chica. You knew that this hot spring would be the final gift, yet you claimed you were searching for an elixir that can cure all injuries. And that you'd share it with us too. There are so many types of injury in the world. How could you possibly expect a single elixir to be able to heal them all? But when it comes down to it, wisdom is the solution to all our worries. Yes, I tricked you this time, little Paimon, but when we make mistakes, we learn from them and take one step closer to resolving our worries. Isn't that a wonderful outcome too? Okay. Actually, it makes kind of sense. Have you learned how to use phlogiston? Even if I took a bath in the hot spring filled with phlogiston, I would be unable to use it. In the past, so the ancient scroll says, tribespeople who could not already wield phlogiston only ever learned to do so by passing the trial. So it hasn't had any effect at all. Wait, you're clearly from Natlan, but you can't use phlogiston? Are? Paimon, you know, these delayed responses of yours can be quite hurtful at critical moments like this. Yes, nearly everyone in Natlan can use phlogiston, but nearly is not all. When I was very young, I once suffered a grave injury in connection with the Abyss. It was a miracle that I even survived. I was in terrible health. I told you I could jump great distances with an ichnosaur on my back. But I'd be fooling you, for ichnosaurs can float up and make themselves as light as a feather. So they don't weigh a thing. It may well be due to this injury that I am unable to use phlogiston. No matter what I try, I simply can't do it. I've racked my brains, pored over all kinds of different scrolls, though others view them virtually obsolete. I'm well versed in analyzing phlogiston engraving, though patterns I put lots of effort into memorizing the meanings, honing my great memory while doing so. Can't we cure abyssal nonsense? We're able to purify abyssal thing with just the hand motion. For me, teaching the children of our tribe the basics about phlogiston was also an opportunity to observe how they would discover the ability to use it. Speaking of which, I'm quite popular with the children. I know everything there is to know about phlogiston, and the more I understand, the more I am in awe of them. But the more awe I feel, the more regret and frustration I feel of not being able to wield it myself. It's all thanks to you that we were able to make it through all those trials. I understand that to learn skills like our ancient ancestors did, sacrifices must be made. But I simply don't have that kind of courage. Perhaps that's why I can't use phlogiston. Kikya. Arr. It's alright. I came to terms with it a long time ago. If it doesn't work this time, there's always next time. I'll find my way eventually. Acquire Pyrovision now. Is that what we're setting up? Thank you so much. I'm grateful for everything you've done for me, Dan. Now I know I keep saying it, but you have a fine future ahead of you, lad. Not only are you amazingly talented, but you're also kind as well. Unlike me, for whom everything seems to be in place now, lad, I'm sure you have many more incredible adventures to look forward to. I'm a little jealous, to be honest. And, young lad full of promise, wherever the road takes you, may your travels be smooth, forever and always. And same to you. I'm sure you'll achieve your own aspirations. Even if there's no elixir that can cure all injuries, I'm unsure you'll find an elixir that can cure your injuries. Rawr! Thank you, Paimon, Dan. Last but not least, Rollins. Your words have genuinely moved me. And really, I'm touched by what you've said. Because you're someone that the people can count on. I feel weird being called lad all the time. Alright, let me rest here a while longer. This hot spring might be relaxing after all. I'll soak in here for a bit, then get back to pouring through ancient scrolls for a cure. I might be in for a scolding for running off from home, though. But just as you said, I'll have to work hard to achieve my aspirations. Not all treasure is silver and gold. Neat looking water. Well, that was one world quest knocked out of the way. Feel bad for her. Oh, she's still here. Oh, it's you, the young lad with the bright future ahead of him. What's up? Journey got you tired enough to soak in a hot spring? Well, I haven't learned how to use phlogiston yet, but my back's no longer killing me as much as before. So at least it seems like the healing effect here is better than over at the People of the Springs. Though I'm still a long way away from achieving my real goal, not having such a bad back thanks to this hot spring surely counts for about, say, 10%. I'm really happy for you. And that's another world quest done. Gotta continue to do my dailies. I want to save up as many pulls as possible for when Capitano becomes playable, if he does. And then if he doesn't, save all those pulls for Puccinella. Where are we going? Yep, next up, we have this whole new region to explore that I will get to when we catch up in all of our other nonsense. What are those? Crystal beetles. There's beetles with iron chunks on them now? That's kind of neat.
I'll catch up.
Alright. This is a big problem, man. What terrible luck. Still, wouldn't this make for a pretty interesting story opener? Titu, the tribe's old storyteller, spoke of what he has seen, and on the day of the great earthquake he saw that giant shadow pin plunge beneath the earth. And that was how all calamities began. Whoa. This person sure is spotting some scary stuff. Ah, yes. You've sure gotten slow. Didn't even notice them until they were right under your nose. That line's from a story I read recently. Maybe a real inspiration on me. Still, if you ask me, eavesdropping isn't usually considered a sign of virtue. Don't blame us. You were the one talking super loudly. Arr! Really? Well, that makes things awkward. And hey, come on, little fella. Why are you backing these Outlanders? Just whose side are you on? Alright, alright. Still, it's quite a strange little ensemble. 2 Outlanders and a special little Pletletosaurus. That social studies bookworm sure would love to see this. I bet he's talking about Chikia. I had a feeling when Chikia was referencing someone else, this was the someone else. Wait, you understand what Rollins was saying? Understand Saurian speak? You gotta be kidding me. No one can do that. What do you think they'd say anyway? Hello, my name is Rollins. But I am one of the children of Echoes, and we're always around to Petlosaurs. You can figure out what they're trying to communicate from their eyes, their expressions, and the humming noises they make. Anyway, introductions are in order. I am Titu. That's my name. Paimon is Paimon. I am Dan. And this is Rollins. Arr! Since we've introduced ourselves without a fight, that makes us friends. And a word of advice from a friend, this place is dangerous. Why don't you head over to the people of Springs instead? They've got it all over there. Hot springs, relaxing music, chicks and hunks in swimsuits. The works. And all we got here is a couple of huge stone pillars. Even sounds boring. Whoa, no, those are some big stone pillars! That's not the response I expected. In fact, that's a worrying amount of excitement about, big stone pillars. They do look pretty impressive. This looks more interesting. I mean, floating islands is mind-blowing, but this looks beautiful. I've been doing poorly as of late, I'm afraid. The shadow pin spirit is weakening, and the shadow it should have been pinned to this place soon silently slip away. How poetic. You know what? That would make a good starting point for a story. Huh? Sorry. Got a bit carried away thinking about stories there. Telling tales is my responsibility here in the tribe. And after so many years, it's time for me to come up with some originals. And of course, something just had to go wrong with the shadow pin. Just as I was a few days into my musing. Because why would it ever rain when it could pour? Yeah, I feel ya. So, will the rock fall down? He saw a giant shadow pin plunge beneath the earth. Now, fair warning, that's a bit of speculation. Things might not have gotten that bad yet. But some accident has indeed happened with the pin. One I can do nothing about. Is there really nothing you can do? Well, I could make a record of it, and all as an eyewitness. That way, I'd also have a new tale, I guess. Roar. Wait. You just given up already? Actually, there's something else I wanted to ask. Why is the stone called the Shadow Pin? What is this shadow? Were I telling the children's story, I would say that the Wayab hung the pins here to pin the shadow of the Volcano Lord in place. But that which is sealed beneath them is in truth the Abyss. That's how most tales in Natlan are. They embellish the narrative and held up as warnings, and all their rhetoric is kind of a metaphor. Wait, so you mean the Abyss is actually sealed below here? That's right. And 2 out of 3 small shadow pins have recently floated up. Perhaps when a third floats too, all the evil beneath the earth will come surging up like a tide. You have 3 of these? Ooh, there's still 3 more big stone pillars? Friend, don't mind me, but where does your interest in stone pillars come from? Also, let me remind you, the 3 lesser shadow pins aren't anywhere near this large. Wait, if the story is true, can't we just solve the problem by pushing the 2 pillars that have floated back up down? What an amazing idea. If only you were the first to think of it. In fact, lesser shadow pins have floated in the past, and according to the stories, that's exactly how it was handled. Things are trickier this time, though. Where the Abyss is involved, we can't stand idle. Perhaps I could lend a hand. That's right, we've solved a whole bunch of similar problems before. We're experts now. Really? Not that I'm doubting your abilities. That much I could just tell from how you move, Dan. I mean to say you are really willing to help? Since it's the Abyss you're talking about, even I can't say for sure how dangerous things could get. Oh, so scary. I regret everything, and alas, now my stomach suddenly hurts. Oh dear, I do fear that danger is the only one for me. Hey, stop it. And Paimon just complimented you too. Also, your acting is terrible. Anyway, the point is that will help. Arr. The funny face he did there with the wink was actually pretty funny. I should have taken a screen cap of that. Maybe I'll take a screen cap of that. Future me, when you're editing this video, take a screen cap of that. Rollins agrees as well. Like a flame that appears in the darkness, too. So, too, will heroes rise up in times of great peril. Human possibility shines through the glory at moments such as this. You know what? This could make for a great story, too. Indeed, Dan. You've got some traits that even those storied heroes don't have. I'm looking forward to this, I must say. Let's go then, dear heroes. Let us go check on our floating shadow pins. I think. Yep, shadows beneath the mountain. Shadows of the mountains. Beneath the crystal rock. Touch. Something happened. This is the first of the lesser shadow pins. The condensed solid phlogiston lies scattered, and the iridescent inscription on it has lost its constraining powers. Just as before, the Abyss's influence has squeezed it out of its stone pillar. By iridescent inscription, do you mean that shiny golden stuff we saw just now? Now that you mention it, I think we've seen them before. You have? In Natlan? That's not something ordinary travelers or adventurers often see. Ancient legends tell that before the idea of Natlan was even born, when this land was ruled by ancient dragons, the ancient language which wielded the phlogiston was these iridescent inscriptions. These days, none understand the meaning behind these lights. Only the golden engravings scattered across Natlan remain to mark the trail of those ancient dragons. Wait, so you know how to work it, but not how it works? We cannot decipher the meaning of the inscriptions, but the ways we use phlogiston are the same. So we do understand it on that level. Let me try to explain. So Leeway has those mysterious adeptal mechanisms, yes? And while humans don't know the principles underlying their function, they can still make use of them. That's more or less what I'm talking about, despite the imperfect analogy. No, it's a pretty good analogy. In fact, it's very worldly knowledge of you to actually use another country's words of it, describing it. That's very impressive for someone from an isolated country. So that's how things are. Woo! What is it? Ooh, Rollins is onto something. Rollins, do you like those shiny golden things? They're not for eating, though. I think he wants us to follow him. Paimon doubts they could be eaten anyway. But still, watch out what you chow down on, alright? So much to say that we'll need a shiny iridescent inscription to push the pin back down, right? Correct. Think of the inscription as an eggshell that has been shattered by the expanding abyss. We'll need to find the broken shards to fix the shell. Only then can the abyss be sealed away. Huh. It's a better analogy than the last. Agreed. That was super easy to understand. Alright then, let's begin. If you're ready, Dan, please touch the inscription beneath the pin. We've got to collect as much of the inscription's power scattered as it around the stone pillars as we can. Of course, the abyss will resist, so please be careful. Please break the spikes. Power the inscription. This seems easy enough, actually. Disinterfere. Owie. It's no good. The power of the abyss has begun to take effect. We have no choice but to wait for it to subside. Okay, we gotta try that again. So this is a time limit. So we just gotta go a little bit faster this time. Watch out. Enemies coming. Looks like you have to take care of them too. Alrighty. Easy peasy. I love this battle theme. Oh, come on.
I'll race you there.
Boom.
Overruled. Everlasting as the moon.
As a dutiful maid would.
Are we done? There we go. That looks like it's hammered in. I can't believe that worked. That was truly a scene from out of a story and song. The cacophony fell silent, and the pin returned to its original state, and then its giant form crashed to the ground. Whew! To think that someone really could accomplish this. This isn't a dream, is it? You're all real, aren't you? Not figments of my imagination? Wake up, wake up. You've got to fix this yourself. Hey there, there's no need to be so mean. But anyway, Paimon didn't tell you, Dan's super strong. Rawr. You think so too, don't you, Rollins? You weren't affected by the Abyss, were you, Dan? Relax, it's just the Abyss. I'm alright for now. Even our strongest warriors must remain vigilant. And then some in the face of the Abyss. You're no ordinary person, Dan. Who knows? The story I spin from this material might even surpass those of the Sanhaj. Huh? Well, that sure sounds impressive, but who's Sanaj? Huh, for those who tell the stories in the tribe, Sanaj are the masters of the Nightwind. Sanaj of the Masters of the Nightwind is a worthy relevance indeed. I wonder if we'll meet him later in this patch. Alas, time is short. I will tell you more about Sanaj when we have more time. Alright then, let's head to the next floating shadow pin. I want to fix this issue and start riding by nightfall. Woohoo! Let's go! Arr! Oh, Rollins found something.
All in a day's work.
Thanks, Rollins. I didn't know that Rollins could find treasure. Oh. Well, that's convenient. I mean, we could have walked across without it, but it was neat that it happened. Oh, that is definitely a bigger shadow pin. Just like before, don't forget to touch that. Iridescent inscription. We got it. Alright, into the drill it goes. Strange, the golden pattern flew right over just as before, but the inscription hasn't appeared beneath the pillar. Why is that? That indicates that not only has the inscription been squeezed out, but it's also become fragmented. This is bad. We need to find any scattered bits and fast. So where do we find them? I don't know either. Huh. They should still be held down by some power despite being scattered, so my guess is that they're nearby. Maybe we just need to look around. Ooh, Rollins, you onto something? You want to go over? We're doing something important right now. We'll play with you later, alright? Do you mean that the inscription is over there? Oh wow, I heard that. I heard that even now. There are still Saurians who can sense the inscription's power, but I always thought that was hearsay. Could it be true? I suppose you really are no ordinary Tapetlosaurus, Rollins. So you can do that too, huh? You've got some way to go before you can be as good of a guide as Paimon, though. Paimon's jealous. See? Paimon's praising you. Well, that's true, but don't let it get to your head now. The little guy didn't catch that at all. Bah. If only he was just a little bit smarter. I'm sure he'll understand someday. Precisely. Those in the tribe responsible for Saurian care always say that it takes time to truly establish rapport with them. The secret to success is as follows: exercise, patience, and constantly communicating. Whether humans wish to understand Saurians or Saurians humans, they both need lots and lots of time. True, just like Paimon didn't get what Rollins was trying to tell us just now either. Sorry, Rollins. Rah rah. You're quick to reply, though. Paimon will give you that. Alright. We'll follow you and see if we can find any golden patterns. He went all the way up there, huh? Huh, I mean here? This place is empty. Alright. Dig downwards. Surely the index description isn't there. Find a way down. Ah, be careful. Oh, God. Well, that's definitely a way down. Haha. Kill the babies. There we go. I will sleep soundly tonight. The iridescent inscription is here after all. Oh, there goes the water level. Water suddenly rose. Find a way to reach the inscription. Wait, seriously? This guy was the gun behind the water rising? There's just a lever that raises the water level in this room. Huh. The mechanism's broken. These ruins are very old. It's a miracle that the water control still works at all. I think we'll have to find another way. Ooh, that looks promising. Ha! I am a genius.
Get him! Another target tracked down by Outrider Amber.
Alright. And now we got a spirit way. That was a long way to go to get one little thingy. Ooh. Something for my troubles. I keep picking up keys. Red metal key. Just keep taking the inscription further along as we backtrack all the way. Ah, it floated away. Surely the eggshell would be complete by now. Well, the iridescent inscription should be mended now. Let's head down below for the lesser shadow pin to take a look. Just as I thought, the iridescent transfusion now displayed beneath the lesser shadow pin. Hooray! Just like before, restore the iridescent thingy. Gotta beat the abyss in the race, huh? The floor seems to be falling, though. There we go. I think we did it. I almost fucked that up and had to try again. That would have been kind of annoying. Ooh, and a new path has opened up. We did it! The 2 shadow pins have been plunged back into the earth. Nice work. Another round of applause wouldn't hurt. I'd clap my hands till they fell off if I could, but then I couldn't write another story, so forgive me for not doing so. Still, I assure you that in my heart, naught but bones remain attached to my wrists. Yeah, that's getting a little bit creepy. Really? I thought kids these days were super into dark stories with a dash of darkness. Watching the shadow pin burrow back into the ground really takes a load off my soul. Long-standing tradition dictates that we now need to check the 3rd lesser shadow pin and the greater shadow pin, and we can call this job done. Abyss successfully busted, not to return for a good long time. The rest of this trip should be quite safe, so feel free to come along and chat with me. I'd like to know the heroes I'm inscribing into our Stripe stories better, you know? In that case, you gotta say something like, the mighty Paimon, as tall as a mountain. I'd like to be as large as 2. Yeah, Rollins was as big as 3 mountains. Hey, what do you mean by that, little guy? You want to be as tall as 3 mountains? Thank you, Paimon. You're starting to catch on. Arr. Rollins, you truly are a saurian of prodigious appetites. No larger than 2. Yeah, sure. In that case, my brave warriors Paimon as tall as mountain, and Dan with the stature of 2, and Rollins with the bulk of 3. Would you kindly come with me, T2 the poor little human-sized dwarf, to check on that last shadow pin? I like this guy. These World Quest companions that we get are some of the most interesting characters, in my opinion. Swimming is faster than running. Wonderful. It's solid, almost as if it's grown from the very soil. More robust even than the roots of the great mother tree that it grows beneath the signs of the canopies mountain cliffs. Now I can head back and take up my shift in peace. Of the 3 lesser shadow pins, the most reliable you remained. If I should ever pen a tale about the pins transforming into lovely tribeswomen, you shall be the loveliest among them. Are you sure you're not an Inazuman light novel writer? Wow. So you were the one most interested in the stone pillars all along, huh? Shocking. Hey now, that's ignorance speaking here in Natlan. We believe in the pure spirit and intelligence that dwell within all things. For us, things taking on human form is a most traditional theme. For example, the tale of the beech tree's shadow that transferred to a young woman, and a young Flower Feather Clan tribesman who fell from the sky, or the story of a man who was human by day and would morph into a saurian under the moonlight at night. Well, actually, some of those stories actually add up. Many are ways in which such tales are told, but they're all variations on the same thing I spoke of. Is that really true? Well, that is what a lot of stories say. That much I'll swear to as one who tells stories. Wait, what about the Shadowpin story then? There's no real shadow of the Volcano Lord, is there? And if the shadow is the Abyss, then what is this pin really? Oh, you're a lot sharper than I thought, little Paimon. Well, see, where would I start with such a story? Long ago, on the mountain range, where the children of Echoes made their home, was not as it is today. It was more normal, more complete, more lovely. Everything changed when the Conrian catastrophe struck. The Conrian catastrophe? Indeed, Natlan's ley lines were always special and somewhat delicate, and so this calamity brought utter devastation. They say that the Night Kingdom was severely damaged in that disaster, and the totem pole's lights grew dim. The Wyab could not hear the tribe's cries. And up on the land, dark tide disaster blazed towards the mountain range, brought in by 2 Conrian soldiers. It was they who were the sources of the troubles. Conrian soldiers? That's right. At the time, the tribe's leader had gone forth to the lone island in the west to resist the giant beasts. Elder Trare had no choice but to contend with the Abyss and those 2 abject Conrians. Finally, the tribe's warriors and Saurians, exhausting their spirit, flesh, and blood, found a way to use the iridescent inscription, fashioning giant stone nails out of solid phlogiston. And Elder Trare was the first to leap into the dark pit, crying, "If the Abyss should ensnare death, let us flip the script. With death and sacrifice, we shall ensnare the Abyss." The brave warriors followed him in, and after much sacrifice, the Abyss was at last sealed beneath the earth. This is the true tale of the past. Even in the children of Echoes, who excavate solid phlogiston and gems for a living, know that the phlogiston around the stone nails must remain untouched. So that's the story. Ooh. That happened 5 centuries ago, and yet you made it sound like it was something you saw yourself. That is a storyteller's duty. I love my work, and amongst all the tales I tell, I love the stories of these heroes the most. I'm not a nimble fellow, nor am I the best fighter. If anything, I'm the furthest thing from a hero. But when I tell their stories, I feel like I'm right there, traveling and adventuring and fighting alongside them. I feel them smile upon me, egging me on, as if standing in the shadows of the bonfires, listening to me as they would be a friend bragging of their exploits. And perhaps that is how I fight alongside them, by ensuring that their stories will be passed down and remembered from generation to generation. Ah! Wait a second. So what does that elder story have to do with the Volcano Lord? Why do the Shadow Pins have that name? Still thinking about that, Paimon? It's simple. It's just a play on words, commonly done in many stories. It's called a shadow pin because it pins shadows. Easy, right? Ugh. Wow. The 2 of you made the same noise. That's not where Paimon thought this was going. But who's the Volcano Lord? Hey, what's going on? You're shaking up and down, Dan. It's the ground that's shaking, Paimon. I blame T2's awful shape. Come on, my joke wasn't that disastrous. It's the big shadow pin. That's where the tremors are coming from. Something's wrong. Come on, we need to get back there. What was the big one popping up? Why I did this? We drove all 3 of the lesser pins into the ground, but the Abyss's influence is getting stronger. It's impossible. The woven scrolls, stories clearly state that things our experiences do not prepare us for sometimes happen. It's more accurate to say that accidents happen as often that Paimon stopped being surprised. Could it be that some change has overtaken the Abyss, surging within the ley lines, causing the resistance to grow stronger? Either way, it feels like something terrible is happening down there. Why don't we go try taking a closer look? Rollins, please do, Dan. Follow Rollins. That doesn't look good. Where did all these monsters come from? It's pitch black.
Go, Baron Bunny!
Alright.
I must leave no stone unturned. Time to clean up.
Oh, Rollins is fighting with us. That's cool.
Come on!
Those are people here of all places. Oh, they're doing the thing. Watch out, those are the Night Soul Warriors that got tangled up with the Abyss. Pop off. Pop off, Bubble.
Someone needs assistance.
No, Dan, get out of the way. The shadow pin up there is about to come crashing down. Which is funny, because we started this quest saying it was going to fall, wasn't it? You all unhurt? I think we're good. Paimon's okay. Kinda. Ooh. Now, you don't look injured, Rollins. Did the big pillar scare you just now? Good to see that you're okay. I was pretty frightened, too. There's no way I'd get injured with that much smoke around. Good to see that you're okay. Rah-rah. Back in action already? You're awesome. Well, that was a lucky break amidst the misfortune. This cloud of smoke is huge. Every bit as large as the plumes of volcanic ash hurled out by the volcano lord in the stories. Still, Paimon didn't think that the big shadow pin would come crashing down and bore such a big hole in the ground. As to that, to be honest, I don't know what comes next. But we can always inspect the hole first. For all we know, maybe this isn't too big of a deal, right? It would be the right moment for some sort of ironic twist, after all. You know, like how the bandit finds the treasure he spent half his life searching for and it is actually worthless. Perhaps this place is guarded for centuries has been empty all along. Or maybe we'll find a story of how the shadow pin is but 5 centuries old prank that some bored ancestor of ours came up with. Sorry, I know I'm rambling, but I can't help but be nervous. Either way, I have no clue what we'll find down there. But still, I will go. Don't leave us behind. And don't worry about it, we'll come with you. Doesn't look too serious, just a big hole, right? Just the normal kind of really... shape is kind of ugly, too. I only give this hole 3 stars. When did you become some kind of cavity connoisseur, huh? Sure, we've seen lots of these, but... Rah, rah. Hey, don't copy him when he's being such a bad role model. You don't want to pick up bad habits. That's where the greater shadow pin fell. It seems it's gone down much deeper than I imagined. It's almost like there was a huge open space down there to begin with. Right, this huge space can't have appeared because the shadow pin fell through it. It must have been here long before, with the shadow pin suspended above it, to prevent anything that might crawl up from surfacing, perhaps. Ooh. Anyway, things look alright over here now. I'll report back to the tribe later. Uh-oh, something's happening. Calamity. Pain. Save. What was that? I heard a voice. What's wrong? You all don't look so good. Especially you, Titu. It's as I feared. The iridescent inscription on the pin must have sensed something down there. It's causing it to fall. That legend is real. The spirits of fallen Conrian soldiers are about to emerge. Rutro. Titu, are you okay? Not really, I'm afraid. That voice, so cold, so coarse, just listening to a few syllables was like running my brain across sandpaper. Ooh, I don't want to imagine that. That sounds terrible. If it's that bad, why don't you stay here and keep watch? Just make sure no one falls in and all. And for us, we'll go down and see what's happening. No, you can't. It's dangerous down there. There's no reason you should be put in more peril. I'll not be the one to do it. We've exchanged names, but not blows. That makes us friends. So calm in the face of danger. Are you used to it? Or is it just a natural result of possessing overwhelming strength? Well, let us go down together then. Though I do not have the power to resist the abyss, I am one who tells tales. I might be of some help regarding that which is below Natlan's surface. Besides, to witness things to their completion is a storyteller's duty. But let's take 5 first. Once we're ready, let's head to this carnivorous cavity, shall we? Or is it cavernous cavity? What was that achievement we just got? Keys to the Slumbering. One more mission. Hidden ahead. Like floating circle. Okay, no more corny jokes. Into the giant gaping hole. Such agony. Leave. Voice is becoming clearer, as though it were in my head. Oh no, Rollins is not. Rollins is feeling it too. Just as I thought, the iridescent inscription that was supposed to be on the shadow pin seems to have fallen. Let's figure out what the inscription is responding to. Why don't you try touching it? Touch. This has boss fight written all over it. Oh. Huh, why is there a stone tablet here? It might have been left by the tribesfolk of the past. That happens quite often around here. Long ago, it was a boundary marker telling you that you've crossed the line. You can sometimes find stones with patterns carved on them throughout the lands that serve the same purpose. They've all been abandoned. So that's what happened. Boundaries and borders are no laughing matter here. Between the living and the dead, within and without, above and below, only those who have crossed these lines can grasp the dangers that they face. It is said that there was once a stone tablet in an ancient ruin that reads thus: "If any tread past this stone with ill intent, mine hand shall drake claw become, and grasp their neck shall I." Ugh. Wait, what if this stone tablet of sort has a warning or curse on it then? I can tell at a glance. Tori left this here to think that... Where have I heard that name before? So it's the elder who fought against the abyss. Right. You're quite the avid listener. Storytellers love people like you, you know. After all, the capacity to remember such tales is a basic quality that all storytellers must have. Let me see. Boundary mark inscription. I am the elder of the children of Echoes, Terrari, and I leave this inscription here. I am the storyteller of the children of Echoes, Terrari, and I leave this inscription here. I am the shield and spear of the children of Echoes, Terrari, and I leave this inscription here, to impart to those who will come after, and to seek instruction from the ancestors of the Wyob, to smooth out my present wrinkles. Here I shall leave 3 blessings. The first is for my friends from afar. Let us have one more drink. Zephania and Irzar, you who guided the Black Flood here to the place of the seal. Those must be the Conrians. Friends from afar. You do not wish me to name your deeds heroism, for you see it only as doing your duty. You would prefer to be known as cowards, rogues, or thorns in our side, that you should ever increase our vigilance like an aphid that bites a saurian. As the storyteller, thus I did promise you, yet I must speak the truth here. Forever and always, you will be heroes who fought alongside our tribe, the brotherkin of the children of Echoes. Second is for the valiant ones who were sacrificed. Let us have one more drink, my warriors, for we are illuminated by the iridescent god, and guided by our chief Sungata, and shall not tarnish their great names. We pray to the spirit of Waxkulan Ubakan. Hey, that's the one we learned about on the other side. It's the person who stole the ancient flame or whatever. The madman who stole fire from the throat of the great dragon. To him we willingly offer up our deaths and our lives, that he might block the arcane magics of the abyss with radiant glyphs. As an elder, I bless these warriors. May we one day be free. May every death have meaning, for all life has place to return. The third blessing is for those who came after, and read this inscription. Let us have one more drink, those who come after, for our hope, for our future. If you're reading this, know that the situation is dire, but that it is no time for fear. As the shield and spear of the tribe, I bless you. Know well that the fortress forged from the sacrifices of flesh and blood cannot stand forever, and that the only true immortality is the indomitable spirit. May you be able to win final victory. It says friends from afar, Zephaniah and Irzar. You would prefer me be known as cowards, rogues, and thorns on our side, that you should ever increase our vigilance like the aphid that bites the saurian. Yet I speak the truth here. Always the heroes who fought alongside our tribe, brother, and children of the Echoes. Wait, so those Conrians who fought alongside the tribe then? Well, the names of those two have always featured in stories as the embodiment of evil. They've even appeared in my nightmares. If you don't stop crying, the ghosts of the Conran soldiers will follow the sound and track down your shadow, so they said. But it was all a lie? Well, there's that twist you were wondering about. Such injustice. That those who gave their all for the tribe should bear such slander. It was their wish. But God, it doesn't feel right to me. Yeah, that's so sad. Aru. They did not care for their good name. They only wished to see their will fulfilled. That's how it is. Paimon gets it. Most heroes do great deeds to become heroes. They became heroes because they do those deeds. That's why they don't care what others think of them. Perhaps you're right, but... the iridescent inscription is going. It's going to open a path. Oh. That's so cool. Well, so this must have been where they finally sealed the abyss. Look, there are so many golden patterns in the middle there. You can also see traces of abyss leakage here. Looks like that's the thing interacting with the iridescent inscription. We need to get over there and have a look. This place is so cool looking. Stone chamber of shifting crystal pillars. That looks like 2 Conrian soldiers. Oh, I haven't seen one of these. Zephaniah. Leave. Seal this place, as promised. That voice seems to come from the very depths of the unmoving statue. The rejection in those words are like 2 resolute hands that aim to push you from this place. Leave. Go. I don't want him to see me like this. The voice seems to come from the very depths of the unmoving... Alright. I told you. It's dangerous. Get out of here. Calamity. The seal. Torn apart. Uh-oh. That voice is more complete now, but somehow it's not as frightening as before. My head still hurts a little, though. How are you feeling, Dan? It's no big deal. This is what they call surround sound. I thought we said no more corny jokes. What? That's not what Paimon was asking at all. Anyway, how are you feeling, Rollins? Yeah, it looks like you're fine, too. Now that we're here, it's clear that the voice we heard is coming from the stone pillar must have been those of the Conrian soldiers who've been sealed here, too. Ooh. That means that they were sealed for many years alongside the abyss. What's gone wrong here? I think the problem here is similar to the one we encountered with the lesser shadow pins above. The surging abyss has caused the iridescent inscription's power to shatter and be squeezed out of the giant ceiling pillar. That means we'll need to find the large inscription fragments and find a way to put this eggshell back together again, right? Indeed. That way the seal can be fully restored and the abyss will stay sealed in this place. Then everything will likely go back to normal. But as with the lesser shadow pins, the solid phlogiston surface will have an intense adversarial reaction to the abyss, which is why the ground undulates so. We must be careful. Yeah, I don't want to end up smushed when the ceiling and floor start meeting together like gnashing teeth. Where are we going to find said fragments, though? Rollins! Rawr. Can you sense the inscription's power hidden inside that thing, Rollins? You sure do have a pretty sharp nose. Wait, you're using your nose, right? And was that stone even there before? Did it just appear as you approached the large inscription, Dan? Well, whatever. Let's take a look around the rock first, shall we? That looks like it's got a vis corrosion on it.
Steady as stone.
Alright.
Laid bare.
Get him! Go, go, Baron Bunny!
Scatter!
Alright. Arlecchino should make quick work of all this. Alright, we can finally take a look at that rock. The inscription's power is over there. One down. How many to go? Rollins got a real instinct for this. Must mean the inscription's power is hidden in that one too. I'll go this way. This undulating ground seems very not safe. Great. Second rock containing the inscription's power. Oh, that was certainly annoying. That's 3. Rule of threes. Hey, it shrunk and floated off to the middle. Oh, that's not enough.
Terminate!
Get him! Let it rain!
Having the distraction of the extra Baron bunnies is really nice.
Time to clean up!
Oh, Riptown. The one who comes after the inscriptions. This one has a boss name.
Overruled.
No escape! Go, go, Baron Bunny! Get him!
Alright, hopefully you can die real quickly.
Laid bare.
Leave it all to me.
Great, 4th fragment's down and flown over too. You have to find the fragment of the iridescent script to bring ballast back to the flood of phlogiston. It's the only way to hope to avoid being swallowed up by the earth. This is a maze. And not in the amazing way. Huh. That fragment of the iridescent inscription down there? It's a good thing we have Rollins leading the way. That's gotta be the last one, right? All sense of direction was lost on me. Just touch it once more and let the power of the phlogiston flow fully through the inscription. That way the eggshell should seal up completely, preventing the abyss from escaping. Yeah, that should solve our problem. Let me try. No, Tito, you might get sealed inside too. Quick, quick! Seal us inside too, just as we agreed. Huh. Then leave. Get out of here. Why aren't you leaving? The calamity. Listen. There are more voices. More than those 2 soldiers for sure. It's probably Terare, the storyteller. Behind the glowing inscriptions of the place further still in Askar's house, you hear the wrathful roars, the painful whimpers of Saurians. You hear the sound of incolate flesh, blood merging, sick, giant, sticky, approaching footfalls of some giant thing beyond the description. But you also hear something like thousands of hands, thousands of constantly resisting, pushing outwards. You hear the endless battle in the narrow darkness. It is torment unto eternity. Alright. They cannot find peace. They fight on still. Those heroes are still locked in battle to this day, preventing the abyss from flooding out from the iridescent inscriptions. The stories I tell have purpose. We mustn't always remember those brave warriors and their sacrifice, and yet such suffering. Though the heroes were wounded, they shook it off and stood up. Nothing hurt withal. That is what the stories say. But real wounds cannot easily be shaken, nor true torment so easily conquered. They have suffered so long in that tiny, lightless world. Isn't there anything we can do for them? I want to as well, but the Abyss. Perhaps the only thing we can do is inherit the will of and reseal the inscription. Nor has this been the first time the Shadow Pin has fallen, in our tribe's tales anyway. Someone must have been here before, and someone must have read Terrari's tablet. Those who came before to restore the inscription must have seen what we saw. And yet our stories did not change, for the warnings they gave were real, as were the dangers. All we can do is restore the inscription and leave, to remember always and never forget all that we have witnessed. Still, they're supposed to be heroes, but they've been left here to suffer forever. You're right, Paimon. This is no end for heroes. I know that. I wish to give them peace too, but I don't have the power. I'm just a storyteller. Anne. Don't worry, we are strong together. Let's rewrite this story's ending. Really? You'd do that? Of course he would. Cross Paimon's heart. Alright. The Abyss is dangerous beyond compare. I'm not questioning your strength. But don't push yourself too hard. Don't worry, we got experience with stuff like this. We have an inscription in pinch too. True. You're even more impressive than I could have imagined. To be willing to give your all to resolve others' pain. Truly you are great heroes. And I am a storyteller, so I will record the tales of heroes. Well then, Dan, O hero from another land, please show me how you shall valiantly triumph over the Abyss. That we shall do. So shall we unseal the iridescent inscription now? Or do you want to make some preparations first? Let's go now. Alright. I wish you success. We put all that effort into sealing them. Fuck it. Open the floodgates. Grant the warriors peace. Didn't we agree that we'd make our exit as soon as the seal was ready? Quick, Troy, lead your people away.
Overruled.
I will never submit to the dark, the cursed abyss. So we have to kill them? You shall not pass.
Everlasting as the moon. Laid bare.
Let it rain.
Propagate!
I must leave no stone unturned.
My duty is done. These centuries of torment, they seem to have passed in an instant. Ah, thank you. I hate when they make you kill people and treat that like it's a good thing in games. Never fought this enemy before.
This is where you fall. Overruled.
Did you see? Your orders have been carried out. You won't be disappointed. That was it? We killed 2 people? How was that a good thing? How did that clear up anything? I'm so confused. Oh, that let us go inside the inscription. Oh, this is weird. What was all? There was all that scattered light earlier, and then we suddenly found ourselves here. I think we're in the Night Kingdom. Huh, that's a cat? Beast with fur like that of night. Man, not another talking cat. I just got over the whole Ase thing with the shadow over Petrichor. We don't need a talking cat in every patch update, Hoyo. And we're probably going to get a talking cat in Honkai Star Rail if the fan theories about Elio turn out to be true. Oh, what is it with talking cats in Genshin? You have brought so many slumberers, they who should have rested in peace. Perhaps they prayed to spirits they should not have beseeched. But that was a moonless night where naught could be seen. The night has long forgiven them, yet hate and filth shall never rest, and they too shall never truly sleep again. Thank you, O you who are beloved, you who have soothed their fury, which raged in the darkness. It was you who brought them into the night's reflection. The outland souls, too, may now return to where they were headed. Go now, but beware the fearful instigators, and the ends plotted by those bearing ill intent. That was super ominous. The land of myriad somethings. Talk to Tidou. You're back. Rollins and I were worried, honestly. But what did I say, little fella? They're fine, see? Aroo. Oh. Hey, not that we could explain where they went just now. It's a long story for sure. We saw a glowing cat. I see. In any case, thank you, Dan. I never expected that the abyss here could truly be purified. The iridescent inscription, too, is gone. Almost as if it's no longer needed to stay. The tormented voices have also fallen silent. And that golden light, how it flowed like water spreading across the ground. I even felt as if there were people within that light, waving at us. Rawr! Did you see it too, little one? And there was that light that surrounded you, and then you were gone. We didn't see anything, though. Thank you so much once again, Dan, Paimon, you too, Rollins. You truly are remarkable heroes. Thank you, on behalf of all those warriors who can finally know peace. Tuare's final wishes have been fulfilled, and as for those two Conrian soldiers, no, Conrian heroes. Now that the Abyss is no longer present, they need no longer serve as a warning to us. I must pen a story about them, about how they helped save the children of Echoes. In truth, I did have a flash of revelation as to what their thoughts must have been. The Abyss represents such a terrible peril that, were it up to me, I too might have made up some horror story to keep others from the tribe clear of this place. It seems almost funny how I previously worried about having nothing to write. Now there's almost too much here. In our tale about the golden-haired outlander, a flying white fairy, a little Thesaurus, and how they saved our tribe. That sounds like a pretty awesome synopsis already. Indeed, stories pass on, and stories change. Perhaps one day, a long, long time hence, even you might be as big as a mountain, Paimon. Behold, the mighty mountain Paimon. Look ye how she swallows a sweet madam the size of a sumpter beast in a single bite. I don't doubt there'd be too many of those, Paimon. And as these stories pass down, I imagine that those two soldiers, too, will eventually become heroes. They might not have cared themselves, but I do know that this is what I must do. Once again, Dan, Paimon, you have my utmost thanks. You too, of course, sharp little Rollins. As a storyteller, I swear to write for you the most exciting tale of adventure. Speaking of that, I should probably head back to the sentry post to take up my shift. I'd almost forgotten about that amidst all the excitement. I hope your calm won't tear me a new one for being gone so long. You should probably totally get back there pronto.
Wow, these will come in handy.
Well, that was indeed something. And just like that, we finished another world quest. We finished everything I set out to do today. And it didn't even take 3 hours. So, we'll probably end that here. Next time, we'll go check out see if there's anything else. I feel like there's still more to the story that I haven't gotten around to doing yet. I'm sure there's more involving Rollins. But as for what I need to do with him to advance his story questline, I don't know. Maybe next time I'll have that looked up by then, and if we can continue it before doing the intermission storyline, whatever it's called.
There's something.
All fires fuel the flame. Then we'll do that. But until next time, see you all soon.
Strange over there.
Stay safe, everybody.
Come on, let's take a look.
Bye-bye.